Hey, fantastic folks, welcome back to another episode of Controversialism by Ankur Bhuya. This is not controversialism per se, this is part of the defense series that I will be releasing in the due course of time. So today I thought I will, start the entire process with one of the most decorated, one of the celebrated, and one of the most lethal special forces unit in the world, which is the para commandos, the para special forces. So I hope you will like this episode. Again, fantastic folks, welcome back to another episode of Skipper Talks. Start with the historical background about the para special forces. So in terms of formation, the para special forces, also known as para SF, were originally part of the parachute regiment formed during World War II in 1941. They evolved into specialized units over time. Reorganization was done in 1966 after the Indo-Pak War of 1965. The concept of special forces leading to the formation of a dedicated special forces unit. In terms of the current structure, the Para SF operates under the Indian Army's Parachute Regiment, which has both airborne and special forces units. In terms of mission and role, when it comes to special operations, the primary role includes direct action, counterterrorism, hostage rescue, unconventional warfare, and special reconnaissance. They frequently work behind enemy lines. Para SF is known for operating behind enemy lines, engaging in deep penetration strikes and disrupting enemy operations during conflict. In terms of counterinsurgency operations, they play a significant role in counterinsurgency and counter-terrorism operations, especially in Jammu and Kashmir and the northeastern states of India. So let's talk about the training and selection process. Well, within the Para Special Forces, there are a lot of specialized training and operations which occur, but everything starts from the training and the selection process. Then it starts with initial screening, where soldiers from various regiments of the Indian Army volunteer to join the Para SF. The initial screening includes physical and fitness tests, psychological evaluations, and medical examinations. Then after that, they go through a probation period, which is called as pre-selection. The selected candidates undergo a grueling probation period, typically lasting to 3 to 6 months. This phase is designed to test physical endurance, mental toughness, and adaptability. The dropout rate is extremely high compared to other special forces of the world. It often goes above 90%, as only the most resilient soldiers make it through. There is one particular event which is very exciting in the part of a special forces operative, which is called as the Hell Week. This is the most intense part of the probation, which involves continuous physical and mental tasks with minimal sleep and food. It's designed in a way to break down the weak and forge the strong. Candidates face brutal exercises, long distance marches, and are often pushed to their absolute limits, many a times operating under a lack of sleep and also the constant growls and the shouts of the drill masters. After that, they go to basic. If we talk about the basic and advanced training, then number one is the parachute training. Successful candidates are sent to the paratroopers training school in Agra, where they learn static line parachuting. They must complete 5 jumps, including 1 night jump, to earn the maroon beret. If we talk about the specialized combat training, then after earning the beret, they undergo rigorous training in jungle warfare, high altitude warfare, urban combat, and counter-insurgency operations. This includes, number one, if we focus in jungle warfare, it includes training in dense forests, focusing on ambush tactics, survival skills, and navigation, which also comes in handy when it comes to guerrilla warfare. In terms of high altitude warfare, specialized training in mountainous regions, including acclimatization and combat in extreme cold, is involved. One of the main Operations also happens in terms of urban warfare, where the focus is on CQB in dense forests, focusing on ambush tactics, survival skills, and navigation, close quarter battles, hostage rescue, and room clearance, where they go door to door and start clearing the rooms as they reach the target. So, obviously, since these are specialized units, they also have specialized weaponry and tactics. The operatives train with various firearms, explosives, and hand to hand combat techniques. They become proficient with assault rifles like the Trevor, sniper rifles, pistols, submachine guns like the MP5, and also anti tank weapons. Two very important part of being a para SF operative is the halo and hey-ho jumps. Para SF operatives are trained in high altitude low opening, which is halo, and high altitude high opening, hey-ho, parachuting techniques for covert insertions behind enemy lines. That's basically the part of a paratrooper to kind of jump into the battle, and their stallion is basically helicopters and planes. In terms of specialized training, one you can do is the Combat Divers course. For maritime operations, operatives undergo combat diving training, learning underwater demolition, reconnaissance, and amphibious assaults. There is another specialization which comes in the form of sniper training. In this field, the selected operatives are trained as snipers, specializing in long-range marksmanship, reconnaissance, and target elimination. Also, when the team is in the field, it's always nice to have a pair of eyes behind you to kind of look at from a vantage point of view. Demolition experts training is in handling and deploying explosives for sabotage and demolition operations. Another key part of the training is survival, evasion, resistance, and escape, called as CD operations. These are techniques for surviving in hostile environments, evading capture, and resisting interrogations. So it's all about the mental part of it, kind of not giving the information out to anyone who will be using the information badly. It's more about that, and also evasive driving. So let us talk about the notable units within the Para-Special Forces. We all know about the Para-Special Forces, but we have to also look at the segments, the subgroups inside it. So largely the Para-Special Forces are divided into several battalions, each with its specialization and area of operation. So I will tell you some of the key battalions of the Para Special Forces. Now let us talk about some of the notable units within the Para Special Forces. Number one is 1 Para SF, who are popularly known as the Red Devils. They specialize in jungle warfare and counter-insurgency operations, typically which is required in the Northeast. Their theatre of war is primarily in the northeastern states of India, when they engage in counter-insurgency operations wherein they fight with the separatists. In terms of notable operations that the unit has carried off, it played a crucial role in Operation Cactus in 1988 in the Maldives, where they stopped a military coup. Also, Operation Vijay during the Kargil War in 1999. In terms of awards, they have numerous awards including the Ashok Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, and also the Sena Medal. Let's move on to 2 Para SF, who are popularly known as the Predators. They specialize in mountain warfare and high altitude operations, typically in the Kashmir Valley. Their theatre of war, like I likely said, was active in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Siachen Glacier and other high altitude regions. In terms of notable operations, they are known for their role in the Kargil War, cross-border strikes, and ongoing counter-terrorism operations in Kashmir. When it comes to awards and decorations, the unit is highly decorated with the Paramveer Chakra, Ashok Chakra, and other gallantry awards. Let's move on to another unit, which is my special unit. I love this particular unit, which is the 9 Para SF, also known popularly as the Ghost Operators. They specialize in unconventional warfare, direct action, and counter-terrorism. In terms of theatre of war, they are known for deep penetration strikes, operates across various theatres including Pakistani occupied Kashmir. So they actually cross the line and do their operations there. Their notable operations include the 2016 surgical strikes across the LOC, neutralizing terrorist launch pads. In terms of awards, they have several Veer Chakras and Shaurya Chakras for their daring mission. Another one is 10 Para SF, known as the Desert Scorpions. Their specialization is in desert warfare and long range reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is basically gathering data about the enemy in a stealth mode. Their theater of war is primarily in the Thar Desert and Western India, where they are prepared for rapid deployment in desert conditions. Notable operations include the operations in desert, which were fought during the conflicts with Pakistan, and also counter-insurgency operations, the separatists on the western front of the country. Numerous Sena medals and gallantry awards for their expertise in desert warfare has been given to this particular unit. Another one of the strongest units is 21 Para SF, also known as the Valiants. They specialize in jungle warfare and insurgency operations. If I'm not sure, notably most of their work is in the northeastern part of the region. So therefore, their theater of war is the counter-insurgency operation in the northeast India and Myanmar. Notable operations include Operation Hot Pursuit in 2015 against insurgents in Myanmar, making a significant cross-border operation. Their awards is, they have multiple awards in their operations in the challenging terrain of Northeast India, various Sena medals, Kirti Chakras and Shaurya Chakras. In terms of skills and level, so the skill level of a Para SF operatives are amongst the most skilled in the world. They are trained to operate in various environments, deserts, jungles, mountains and urban areas. Their ability to execute high-risk missions with precision and stealth makes them a formidable force. In terms of notable operations, number one is the Operation Blue Star in 1984, where Para SF played a key role in the assault on the Golden Temple to flush out militants. In Operation Cactus 1988, the unit was instrumental in thwarting a coup attempt in the Maldives. In the Kargil War in 1999, Para SF were involved in high altitude warfare, successfully recapturing key positions during the conflict. And the most well known is the surgical strikes of 2016, which was in response to the Uri attack. The Para SF carried out a high-profile cross-border surgical strike against terrorist launch pads in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Let's talk a little bit more about the equipment and technology that these specialized units employ. In terms of weapons, the Para SF operatives are equipped with advanced weaponry such as the Tavor TAR-21 rifles, AK-103, MP5 submachine guns and various assortment of sniper rifles depending on the range of the shot. In terms of personal gear, they use specialized gear including night vision devices, bulletproof vests, high altitude clothing and communication systems. Transport and mobility is very special for them, so they utilize helicopters, specialized vehicles and halo and hey-ho parachuting techniques for rapid deployment. The main part is the ethos and culture of the Para SF. Their motto is very interesting. Their motto is literally, "Men apart, every man an emperor." This reflects the elite status and self-reliance of Para SF operatives. The regimental spirit has a strong sense of brotherhood, loyalty and a never-give-up attitude. These define the ethos of the unit. And the famous insignia, the Balidan badge worn on the right chest pocket, signifies sacrifice. Basically, this is, I don't know if you can see it, this is the badge. So this was short, simple and sweet. And thank you so much for your time and attention. I'll be seeing you soon in the next episode. Thank you, fantastic folks.